nicely settled for visiting time, all right?
Yes, nurse.
It's a bit stiff, Eric. You might have to swing it a bit to the left. 1, 2, 3, go.
Thank you, nurse.
Expect your lovely wife will be in to see you again in a minute, all right? See you later.
Thank you, nurse.
Eric.
It's all right. I can explain everything. It's quite simple, really. Who's that?
It's me, Eric. Helen.
Oh.
You're dreaming.
Pass my glasses, will you, please?
Where are they?
Oh, I don't know, over there on the side somewhere.
Oh, here they are. Right, as per...
Careful. Thank you very much.
Well, I must say you're looking better.
How can I be looking better? Look at me.
Well, you've got a bit more colour in your cheeks.
Oh. Well, if I've got a bit more colour in my cheeks, no doubt they'll be discharging me tomorrow. I'd hate to be occupying a bed unnecessarily.
Oh, you haven't lost your sense of humour then?
No, Helen. I've lost the use of both arms. I've lost the use of both legs. 3 back teeth, 6 pints of blood, and very nearly the bloody will to live. But I haven't lost my sense of humour. Aren't I the lucky one?
It's nice to have you back.
Back from what?
Your coma. Did they have to bring you round, or did you manage that little exercise all on your own?
I came out of the coma just before midnight, uninduced. And what do I find? This lot.
Yeah. You're going to take a lot of looking after, aren't you, Eric? And I know exactly who's going to be expected to do it. Shall I clean your glasses? They look a bit grubby.
Have you been coming every day?
Yes, every day.
Just sitting here?
Only yesterday. Before then, they'd only let me peek at you through the door. You being critical.
Ah.
Oh, he's always been critical, I said. That's just his way.
Oh, very sharp, Helen, very witty. Did you bring any titbits?
No solids, she said, not for the next couple of days. So, I brought you some soup and one of my trifles. Would you like a little something now?
That would be very nice, Helen.
Can you remember anything about it?
About what?
The accident.
No, not a lot.
That would be the shock, I expect.
Presumably.
The policeman who came round said you were lucky to be alive.
Did he?
Well, considering the circumstances.
The circumstances?
How it happened?
But he didn't go into any details.
No, he just said you've been in a car accident. My stomach turned right over. He's such a careful driver, I said.
But he didn't go into any details.
Oh, yes, he said. But the car wasn't actually moving.
But he didn't go into any details.
No, not really. Didn't want to worry me, I suppose. They found your book, by the way. That's something you haven't got to worry about.
What book?
Your book. Your little joke book. He'd be so pleased you found that, I said. They found it when they were cutting you out the car. Mind you, he was a bit suspicious.
Who was?
The policeman. We found this when we were cutting you out the vehicle, he said. Oh, I said, that's this little joke book. How do you mean, he said. Well, I said, my husband's a sales executive. And when he hears a little joke, he writes it down in his book so that he can tell his other clients.
Very good, Helen.
Anyway, I put it in your bureau, along with your wallet and such like. But not your glasses, because I brought those in yesterday, knowing how lost you'd be without them.
Thank you.
That's something he asked me, actually.
Who did?
The policeman. We found these, he said, And I said, oh, he'll be so pleased they're not broken. Does he use them for everything? He said. Oh, yes, I said. Does he use them for driving? He said. Oh, yes, I said. Well, he said, when we found them, they were in their case in his coat pocket. Well, I said, he must have taken them off for something. You never take your glasses off, do you, Eric? Apart from when you go to bed or matters of personal, like when you have your photograph taken.
There was something in my eye.
I said that would be it. That's why he stopped the car, I said. That's fate though, isn't it? You stop the car to get something out of your eye and the next thing you know, something's crashing into the back of you. Was it a fly or something?
No, it was a bloody great lorry.
Oh, there you go. Always joking. No, in your eye.
That's right, Helen, a fly.
I expect it came in through the window.
No, it was hitchhiking. I picked it up on the A27. Look, Helen, there's no need for you to worry about the accident. It happened. That's all you need to know. Don't tax your brain.
Actually, what he couldn't understand was how the fly got in the car with the windows being tightly closed, and that was strange in itself, really, because it was such a hot evening.
I closed the windows to keep the little buggers out. If you yourself drove, you would know just how distracted and therefore dangerous they can be. Unfortunately, I was too late.
Anyway, my stomach churned right over when he came to tell me. What time did it happen? I said. 8 o'clock, he said. Oh, I said. He only phoned me at 7 to tell me he was going to be late. He phoned you, did he? He said. Oh, yes, I said. My husband always phones me when he's going to be late home. In fact, he must spend half his salary on 10p pieces telling me he's going to be late home. Would you like some more, or will you go on to the trifle?
Well, I'll have some trifle in a moment, please.
What he couldn't understand was what you were doing in Slindon Woods.
Slindon Woods?
Yeah. Well, with you being at a business meeting in Bournemouth and us living in Bognor, what you were doing in Slindon Woods.
Bournemouth? Who said anything about Bournemouth?
You did, Eric, when you phoned me. You said, I'm at a business meeting in Bournemouth. I'll be late home. Don't wait up.
Bournemouth. Mr. Bournemouth. Mr. Bournemouth of Slindon Woods Limited.
Silly me, Eric. Not only stupid, but deaf as well. I don't know how you put up with me, I really don't. Would you like some trifle now? I can't do much, can I, Eric? But I make a good trifle.
That would be very nice.
I suppose we were lucky you weren't on the main road. That you had the presence of mind to turn off down that country lane when that fly flew in your eye. Still, as I said to the policeman, he's always been able to think fast. What's that saying you use, Eric?
The ability to think on one's feet.
Not like me then, is it, Eric?
They say you can only get so much out of a turnip.
Oh yeah, if you're worried about your trousers, they're in the cleaners. The trousers to your suit.
What about my trousers?
You weren't wearing any when they brought you into hospital.
Well, I wouldn't be, would I?
Your husband wasn't wearing his trousers when we cut him out the vehicle, he said, the policeman. Oh, I said, that's not like my Eric. He's usually quite fastidious about that sort of thing. There must have been a reason.
Of course there was a reason. They couldn't open the car door to get me out. In order to facilitate my exit, they had to take me out through the window. And then Chief Fireman asked me to remove some of my clothing.
And you chose your trousers?
Precisely.
Anyway, they're in the cleaners. made a statement, you know.
Who has?
The lorry driver said you were down a dark country lane where you were parked with all your lights turned off, and him bumping into the back of you was entirely your own doing.
I turned the lights off to conserve the battery.
You don't have to make excuses to me, Eric. You'd be surprised what people say to get themselves out of trouble.
I expect that we shall settle it on a knock-for-knock basis.
He didn't have a witness though, Eric.
Who didn't?
Not like you. Fortunately, your husband had a witness, he said, the policeman. He did tell me the name, but you know what my mind's like and it's escaped me for the moment.
O'Connell.
Sorry?
O'Connell!
Yeah. Miss O'Connell.
Mrs.
Must be a business associate of your husband's, he said. Oh, I don't know, I said. The name certainly doesn't ring a bell.
Miss O'Connell has recently joined the sales force, and this being her first position, she obviously required training and experience in the field.
So you've been giving it to her?
Yes.
Let me see if I can remember all this.
Oh, no, don't worry about it.
Yeah, in case any of the relatives call and I can tell them what happened. You were on your way home from a business meeting with a Mr. Bournemouth of Slindon Woods Limited when, despite having all the windows to the car tightly shut, a fly flew in and flew straight in your eye. In order to avert a major accident, you turned off the main road and down a quiet country lane where you turned off all the lights to the car to conserve the battery. You were engrossed taking a fly out of your eye when you were suddenly hit from behind by a large lorry, which meant you had to be cut out of your vehicle by the local fire brigade, who first asked you to remove your trousers. There.
Very good.
Oh yeah, you had a witness, a Mrs. O'Connell, who was new to the company and required experience in the field. So you took her out in your car and you were giving it to her.
Very good, Helen. Now, if you don't mind, I'm quite exhausted. If you'd like to take my glasses off, please.
You'd like me to go?
If you don't mind, Helen.
No. It's going to be a long time before you're out of all those bandages and things, isn't it, Eric? You're going to take a lot of looking after. I'm going to have to pamper you and cater for your every whim. Oh, I know what I'll do. As I'm early, I might nip up to Edith Cavell ward and see whether Mrs. O'Connell's come out of her coma.
No need, Helen.
She'll probably be a bit confused, and I'll be able to put her right. And her husband, if he's there visiting. I've left you a bit of trifle on the side there, Eric. There's a bit left. I know how you like the trifle.
Thank you very much, Helen.
I'll see you tomorrow. On second thought, you might as well have it now. I'll bring you another one tomorrow.
Back to the ward. It's nearly dinner time, isn't it? And there may even be a bit of trifle.
Thank you, nurse.